Alright guys, welcome back to episode of Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4. Last episode, Operation Barbarossa kicked off, and it's questionable on who's winning it. It looks like the Germans are winning right now, however the Soviets are winning in weird other spots. The Germans are starting to push through, and if they do take most of Western Russia, then the Soviets are going to be in trouble. Although the Germans are starting to break through. Ooh, they're even starting to break through the Maginot Line and breaking through over here in France. We, however, in the Neo-Ottoman Empire, successfully defeated Iraq. However, Iraq was puppeted and was given to Iran, although I don't know why they didn't just take the province, maybe because they're a non-aligned country and not fascist. Luckily, we did get some oil, and most importantly, we got a border with Saudi Arabia, who we should be able to defeat without much of a problem. So, the first operation we're going to do is we're going to, mostly just because a lot of this is just desert. We're going to go all the way through here, we're going to secure this port, and that port, and we'll take Rida. Is that how you pronounce it? Or is it like Riyadh? Not sure. Which, by the way, is still the capital of Saudi Arabia today. Pretty sure. I know it's not Mecca, despite what a lot of people believe. It is not Mecca, although I believe it's functionally the capital, as a lot of the important governmental buildings are there. That may or may not be true. It's been a while since I've been reading up on that. And also, we invite Yugoslavia to our faction, the Sons of Abraham, and I also said a couple episodes ago, I really hate that name. So, let's get started. So, our claim on Saudi Arabia is going to finish on the 23rd of April, so we have a couple months. Second light tank tech is finished. Let's go for decryption. And let's start pushing our tank production to a new type of tank. And I'm also going to start building land forts here in the Soviet border. Because fortifications can really change how the course of a battle goes, and into mountains. And with very entrenched troops. Because again, if we do go to war with the Soviets, the good starting bit of it, we will definitely not be invading. We will just be countering their invasion, protecting ourselves. And what is going on over here? Oh, Siam's in the Axis. Oh, and they're at war with the British Raj. They're invading them. You know, I really want to do a Siam game, and doing a fascist Siam would probably be a lot of fun, because France tends not to, and the United Kingdom tends not to put a lot of troops down here. The Netherlands ends up putting a good amount down here just because this ends up being all they own. So let's just go to speed 5 right now. Just a lot of waiting. Soviet Union does kind of look like they're starting to push back. Oh, and they're trashing the Japanese. Should we attempt to try and fund a coup here in the United States? Let's wait for it to stay at over 50 for a while, because there is a chance they'll get an event and they'll flip over to fascist on their own. Or if they stay at over 50 for a while, it may be worth just funding a coup to overthrow the government. Now, in South America, there are some fascist countries. I believe Peru and Venezuela are the two fascist countries to start in South America. And just so you know, as the United States, one of your national focuses called Pax Americana. Not Pax Americana. It's these ones. The ones leading up to Pax Americana. These normally give am I wrong about this? Alright, so I'm kind of right. So for the Caribbean sphere, the neighbors, and Central America, all they do is increase ideology drift defense. So mostly just preventing any outside influence from fascist or communist countries. Or for the South America one, increases for Colombia ideology drift defense, and for Chile. However, for all the others, it increases their daily democracy support. Now, it says that in the tooltip, however, that is entirely dependent on what political alignment you are to. So in my American state playthrough, instead of saying daily democracy support, it says daily fascism support. I do not know if that changes depending on if you have researched that already and then you switch to a different ideology like communism or fascism. I'm not sure, and I'll try just to see what that does. Or I'm not entirely sure. The United Kingdom and Denmark are doing naval landings. I really hope the Germans don't lose, because they are where I get all my iron. And Romania is doing a little snake right here. What? No, it's the British Raj. See if I can zoom out enough to see it's your British Raj controlled Alfold. Wow. Wait, that means they went... Wait. They're at war with Hungary. Which means those troops went all the way through China. All the way through the steppe region over here. All the way through... What would this be called? It's not Transcarpathia. No, really, because Transcarpathia is around there. Transcaucasia, this area, anyway. All the way through the Ukraine, all the way through Romania, probably, and some of this Carpathian Ruthenia, and they got here and took that one province. Guys, I'm pretty sure Germany's gonna lose. Which does not spell very good for us. Because once they lose, one of two things will happen. One, either the Soviet Union will target us, or the Soviet Union will target the Allies. Or we could get really unlucky because we're at 100% tension, and I'm sure we've generated some. They might justify on us, both of them, both the Allies and the Comintern. And I think I need to find a new trading partner for iron. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Let me just go let my dog in here. Just gonna stare at me like that? Go ahead. Oh, there you go. He needs a written invitation to sit down, and you're covered in mud. Thanks for sitting in my bed. Alright, and I completely forgot I was supporting the growth of fascism here. Resurrectionist Ireland. Invite the faction. Aww. I wonder if the United Kingdom likes having them there. Wonder how a Cuba game would play out. I'll try one. Although it's probably just gonna stink. So where should we invade next, even if we do invade somewhere else? Again, we don't have to, because it might be that the Soviets will come to us and we won't have to pick where to invade. Afghanistan is a good spot where we could go and just give it all to Iran. I think we should boost popularity of fascism in Iran. Alright, fabrication is done. Ooh, I almost forgot the rest of the... Alright, so you guys, when you're done doing that, just invade the rest of southern Saudi Arabia. Alright, you guys, you are approved for takeoff. So you've declared war on Saudi Arabia. And go. We probably won't face much resistance. So I'm not even going to really look. I want to see how this goes down. You know it's bad when the Netherlands and Belgium are pushing you back. This is just really sad. The Dutch are really getting out good here. Oh, look at the Soviets. This is not going to be fun if we have to fight them. Well, unless Romania... If Romania keeps that little tentacle, then we're actually going to be completely fine, because Yugoslavia kind of is having a shield against the Red Menace. And obviously I have a really big shield against the Red Menace and an actual river. If worse comes to worse with the Soviets invading us, I'm just simply going to retreat all of my troops out of European Turkey and just leave Yugoslavia to its fate and just run over here into Asia Minor. It's going to be much, much harder for them to invade Anatolia than it is for them to take all of this. And really, it wouldn't be infeasible for me to just cover every single point of the coastline. And really, they only ever invade ports because you don't have supply lines. So really, I could just arm the ports to the teeth. Were you just not assigned to anything? Yeah, whatever. So as you can see, the Saudis are not really putting up any of a resistance in the slightest. If we do go to war with the Allies, I will have to worry about the British Raj invading Iran. However, we don't really have enough negative relations with any of the Ally members. Never mind. We do have negative relations to them. However, I think by the time war really becomes a certainty, Iran will probably send some defensive forces there. How are we not going to win this? It's risky. Well, too bad. How is the war against the Soviets going to be? Inferior enemy. We actually do really outnumber them. Still not invading them, though. Oh, the border gore is going to be so bad. Don't you guys all remember the time the Soviet Union invaded Sardinia and they took the Spanish part of North Africa? Me too. And that's the one thing I hate about the AI planner thing, is that if you ever get a point where you cut off one of your offensive lines, these new offensive lines that get formed because of the split don't have any troops assigned to them. Hungary has capitulated. Great. I really don't like that the Soviet Union is getting so strong. Yeah, I'll put you to tanks. Even though I have not the oil nor the iron for it. And yeah, the Germans are done. There's no way they'll fight this back. Let's change my economy to war economy. I really should have done that sooner. That'll just help get everything just build up faster. Like those really super ultra important defenses I need against the Soviets. That's my Windows key button. Don't need to be hitting that. Looks like we are invading into Rydia. Saudi Arabia is starting to get to the spot where they might capitulate. We're on pause. That's probably why nothing's moving. Now, if we do invade the United Kingdom, one thing we're going to have to worry about is all these little colonies they have spittled around the Middle East. And we're going to need to take those quick, because if we let any of those stay and they use them as an invasion point, we are in trouble. Although there is a lot of land here, generally the armies they have in Africa aren't that big compared to their mainland armies. So we'll really need to just cut off their African troops quickly. Alright, let's get nuclear effort. Alright, so you know what? I am going to stage a coup. And let's have it... not Michigan. Let's do... I can't do my home state of Pennsylvania. Let's do more tanks. I know there's air wings with no mission. We need to eventually find out what that mission is. Alright, so all of you guys stop. Let's all just get put there. Let's all get into position before we attack. And look at my poor name. Absolutely disgusting. And let's just start justifying on Oman and... oh, not enough political power. Staying ideology and oh, it's because I'm supporting the coup. Oh, and Iran. I guess I really don't need to boost it there anymore. And go. As you can see, Saudi Arabia just isn't able to put up a defense because their country does not have any buildings or whatever at the start. There we go. And Saudi Arabia really wasn't, during this time, they the vast oil reserves that make Saudi Arabia so rich today, they didn't know it was there. So I believe it wasn't sometime until after World War II that they actually discovered all of it. So until then, Saudi Arabia didn't have much to its name. Well, yes, they were the country that held both Mecca and Medina. Money-wise, they lacked it. I'm also going to want anti-air guns. I want a lot of them put up, as much as I can here. I'll put some in Van, or Van, however you want to pronounce it. Hey, Poland! Poor Germany. You know, maybe they shouldn't have declared war on, you know, the Soviet Union where they weren't even sure if they were going to win the war on the Western Front. Even in the slightest. And I wouldn't be surprised if Italy capitulates anytime soon. I'm surprised they haven't already. Maybe they did. I was playing a game of Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice's Italy with some of my friends, and I'm just about bad at Hearts of Iron 3 than Mussolini actually was in World War II. And Hearts of Iron 4 is a much, much different game than Hearts of Iron 3. When it actually came to strategy and stuff, which is primarily what I have to do in Hearts of Iron 4, I had no problem with it. It was actually, you know, like everything else that I have a problem with. Not that I disliked it, I just wasn't good at it. And I think it definitely shows of how Hearts of Iron 4 is definitely simpler in some aspects, especially the supplies, setting up all your command structures. There's none of that. This looks really, really ugly. I'm afraid of what the peace deal is going to look like. Italy has capitulated. You know, if we really wanted to, there's probably enough time where we could justify on Italy, and we could declare war on them. However, I don't think that's a good idea. If only for Albania. You know what, let's do it. There's no reason not to. It'll just be funny. Oh, and I might be able to also take roads and stuff. Alright, so some of you guys that are over here on the Romanian border, just form a front line here. Now declare war on Italy, take all of Albania, and then I'll immediately just jump ship. I'm gonna need a naval port somewhere. I'll just do that one. Oh, let's do right there in the Aegean Islands. Let's organize you guys into a fleet. And I'll set you guys on patrol here in the Eastern Mediterranean. That's all you gotta do, just be enabled to do a naval invasion. You don't actually need physical boats. Let's start justifying against Oman, because that's gonna be a pretty easy fight to do. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all next time. Peace!